Jumbo fellow adventurers, it's Mike Dooley back for a live spiritual tune-up. I was under the weather, common cold, little fever, blah blah blah. Tested negative for all the COVID, flu, strep. But thank you so much for all the kind well wishes in my absence, and the absence was extended, of course, because there was a 3 day long weekend holiday. It's great to be back and great to have been missed. And I've got a doozy of a question for you, thanks to you. Because every morning, 9:15 New York City time, I broadcast live answers to your questions on anything under the sun. Anything under the sun. Typically, with the perspective that the more truth you have, the greater and happier your life's joy. The more traction you have to living deliberately, creating consciously in this bastion of perfection and order floating through the cosmos. So today's question will no doubt help you live a happier life. But it's going to take some going outside of our normal perspectives to perhaps put these pieces together. God, Jesus, and aliens. How do these fit together? Mike, how does God or Jesus fit in with the UFO theory of seeding our planet or helping us evolve? Actually, these thoughts go really, really well together. They're kind of almost intuitive, unless you're steeped in religion. Now, please, I don't mean to offend anybody here, but my perspective is that religion is a man-made tool to reconcile that which eludes the physical senses. It's man's attempt to understand the nature of reality with their intellect alone. And it's a very noble attempt. There's so much beauty and power that is held in virtually every religion. We can't help but succeed to draw some great conclusions and realize we're not alone, and that, in most religions, I hope that there's love as the glue that holds us together. But if you are too steeped into any particular religion, that's when it gets wobbly, because religions, by their nature, by definition, are exclusionary. You're either with them or you're on the other side of the fence, burning in hell forever. That's not too cool. And I think, at some point in the evolution of most religions, men with agendas got a hold of the steering wheel and took them where they weren't supposed to really go at the outset, but generally of a very noble cause. But if you believe literally the words that you've read that were meant for generations, millennia ago, that were then translated a million times, you could be on some very thin ice. The idea of God, which is everywhere, always at once, which does not need a religion to define. It is every beating heart, every grain of sand, every sentient and non-sentient being. It is realizing that there's nothing that's non-sentient. God is everything. You don't need religion for that. Well, if you find that God has created a physical universe with 10 sextillion stars at a minimum, often believed to have been underestimated by a figure of 100, so times 100, then you'd realize that this God, who could put 100 million species on planet Earth, probably put a little bit of life on other planets. And we call them aliens. And you know what they call us? They call us aliens. But we're all God, and it's all good. And if you know of some of my work, I had the great fortune of working with the amazing Tracy Farquhar. She's a medium, a psychic, and she channels different energies, and she channeled Frank. Frank and I did a book together, channeled messages from deep space. And one of the amazing things Frank says is true of their reality, their planet, in this time and space, but far removed, is that while they are unimaginably different than us in physical appearance, and their planet, their lifestyle, unimaginably different than us. A little bit scary, huh? Like, what could that be? Maybe they're octopus, maybe. But But no, they're far more humanoid than octopus. We've been given the pictures. Tracy has. Frank says even though their whole realm physically is so unimaginably different than ours, their spiritual evolution is nearly identical. And wouldn't you figure that that would be the case? We're all of God, by God, pure God. We're all descended into the illusions for the adventure of love, only to make our way back to total clarity and understanding, camaraderie, joy, cooperation. And in the journey back to truth through the light, we would all be learning lessons of patience, empathy, cooperation, inclusivity, that love is always the answer, that violence always fails, always. These are the lessons of all beings and creatures, whether you're a chimpanzee or an amoeba or you and I or a so-called alien from outer space. The terrain is different. The physical expression is different. But the journey, spiritually, inwardly, consciously, is identical. And Jesus was this child of God. And he said, you are too. He said, we all are. And that the things he did will do greater things. And so he was a light at a very dark and difficult time on planet Earth. Undoubtedly, such lights exist from time to time on this planet and in other realms, just our brothers and sisters kind of throwing us a line, so to speak, to get a leg up on. Now, of course, some religions came around and said, he is of us, and you believe in him or you perish. And all of a sudden, religion has gone a little bit too far. But the underlying message is about love and inclusivity and forgiveness and tolerance and patience and all those great things, the lessons that we're all here to learn. So if you take Jesus out of religion and just witness him as a brother to all of us, and you take God and strip it from religion and realize everything is God, and you realize with your physical senses, ironically, that in this incredible physical universe there must be other forms of consciousness. Now, of course, there's delineations between the insect world, the plant world, the animal world, the human world. But in that evolution of expression, God come alive in the dream of life, there's lots of different lessons. And some are so sophisticated that we come back and have reincarnational existences, as do human beings. Do dogs reincarnate? They might. They're definitely eternal, and they wait for us on the other side. The Rainbow Bridge is real. But the sophistication level of consciousness differs from being to being. Do dolphins reincarnate? I'm absolutely sure they do. As other creatures, maybe even octopus. Are other sentient beings much like humanoids on other planets with such sophisticated levels of conscious evolution before them that they might come back to get it again and do it better and learn more? Of course, I'm sure of that. They are our brothers and sisters. It's not us versus them. I'm not trying to compare all species, is what I was just trying to get at. But when you get to aliens like us, who are very sophisticated and are scattered throughout the physical cosmos, I'm sure that we are all far more similar than we are different without regard to physical appearances, all learning about love and cooperation, and it makes so much sense. It's exactly what you would think. You would never think in this incredible vastness of space we're the only planet, or if there were other planets that we would be the most advanced. I mean, you would never think that logically, I trust. But that's even beside the point. What's important now is you and your life, your joy, your happiness, your immersion into truth, your compassion, your cooperation, your inclusivity. I don't know what's dinging here. Is that your computer or my computer? So, other point I wanted to get at here is still that there are aliens out there does not change the nature of our or your reality. Your thoughts become things. You're a bringer of the dawn. You're a bringer of the light. Some badass alien cannot come down here and totally blow up our planet or strip us of our mineral wealth or silly notions that people have about aliens. Like attracts like. Thoughts become things. We will attract other races that resonate with us and that are on similar, at a similar place in the arc of our evolution. Now, hopefully, they're a little more advanced than us. They have spaceships that can make it through wormholes, apparently. So that doesn't mean that they're as primitive as we are, but nevertheless, learning the same kind of lessons that we are. You need not feel vulnerable to them, is what I'm trying to get at. Neither think that they break the whole model, the Christian Judeo, now anything can happen and cockroaches will take over. It's like, you live in a world that you are creating through your thoughts, beliefs, and expectations. And this will continue to be true when aliens peek over the horizon and give us a little thumbs up. Do you want to be friends? Nothing to be afraid of. Lots to be excited about. I do believe that the United States government is supposed to be releasing more footage of UFOs today on June 1, 2021. I don't know if that's quite true or not, but this has been in alignment with some of the other questions I've recently answered, and I think it's a lot of fun. So have a good time with it. Continue to marvel at the majesty of creation, of all forms and beings, and post your great questions down below. Several really good ones have accumulated. I'll be getting to those shortly. Thank you, everybody, for letting me do this. Happy Tuesday. Happy everything forever and ever, and I'll see you tomorrow morning. Hasta la pronto. Good to be back, Winnie and Jennifer and Marianne, Kathy, Sandy, and Nick's positive vibes. Glad you're here. Missimo60, Maria in the house. See you tomorrow. Thoughts become things. Tally ho, amigos.